So today's big bench press, or sorry, big deadlift today. 6 repetitions, and I got a lovely bit of news from my doctor saying that my knee isn't in the greatest condition. However, heavy weights are absolutely fine. So that means I can start doing heavy squats, heavy deadlifts, and it's not going to affect in any negative way my progress and my recovery progress. Also, it means that the London Marathon is okay for me to do some walking with a heavy backpack, so I can't run, but I can still push myself in my own way, which is all I want. Just want the opportunity to be able to do something. Okay, that'll do it for the moment. So I'm quite looking forward to this workout, because every time that I've done deadlifts, I've been very cautious of, oh, I could lift more, but I'm not going to, and now I can kind of push my limits a bit. So that's going to be fun to play around with. So, alright, so let's see what we have on the cards for today. We deadlifts. Okay, deadlifts, cable pulls for the legs. So this is a lateral rise. This is just to turn the bum on. Turn the muscles on in the bum, get them activated, get them warmed up. Something that you need to be very conscious of whenever you're working out for certain exercises. Sometimes some muscles might activate more than others, and then your lift will be a little bit weird. So it's good if you know ahead of time, my posture isn't favorable for me using my hips. So you do these exercises beforehand, and it targets only the hips. And so then when you start doing your squat or you start doing your deadlift, your hips are already warmed up, they're more engaged. Think of them as kind of like waking up, members of your team. You've got a big team, you've got to wake everybody up to get out onto the pitch. But one of your better players, their alarm doesn't wake them up very well. They're not very good at that. So you got to get in there and you got to wake them up yourself. That's kind of what you're doing here. 6, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and cable machine? Yeah, cable machine. Nope, won't be needing this bench for the whole of this workout, so let's get the bench out the way. Keep it in the center. And it's a nice, warm sort of inching into the summer kind of temperature today. And the garden is absolutely full of mosquitoes. So I've stuck on the mosquito spray, but I've got a feeling that might not be enough. No, let's actually just spray the area. Maybe that might help. Hopefully they just hate the smell. Okay, so this is a cable pull, but the weight isn't especially heavy. So at the moment this is only the warm up, so we're not going to do anything to it. But what we will do is add a weight and kind of pin it in just with a screwdriver. Which sounds more, I don't know, damaging to the machine than I'm making out. But if you can think of it more like a pin, you know, that you put a pin into the weight so that the stack moves up more, it's just adding another pin, that's all. Five. We're just going up to 10 for this one. Okay, now we're on to the next thing on the set. Okay, what's next? Sorry, I got distracted there. Someone was talking to me about going up to the Battersea Cats and Dogs place and looking at some puppies, and it's like not hard for not a hard sell for me. So overhead press, that's done. Ah yes, the slow motion sprint is what I call this, because it's pretty much exactly what I just said. So let's get them out of the way. So very simple what you do. In fact, you guys, I invite everybody who's looking at the camera right now to try this. I assure you it's not going to be something that's very hard on you that you're going to like it'll be out of your breath or anything. It's a balancing game. A balancing skill. So first thing you do is you raise one knee up, it doesn't matter which one. Be conscious of your opposite hand kind of being in line, like there's an imaginary piece of string between your hand and your knee. And then you're going to almost like you're sprinting slow. So if you think about like the motion of a sprint, if you're like, you know, running really fast, what you would do, you're almost moving like that, but very, very slow. Slow motion sprint. Now when you're, sorry, I shouldn't have done that. That was a natural reaction to correct my my balance with a second point of contact. You do not want to do that, okay? That's the whole point of these exercises, are to focus on the leg that's on the ground. So you stretch out, get the body really nice and long, and then get yourself back up and bring the knee up. Once the knee is back up again, that's what you count as one, okay? So you don't count, you know, this isn't two, that's two. Nice and slow, and the idea of it is that at any point you could stop and then continue on. That's how you have the control. So like, if I'm moving like this, that's not the same. You'll certainly get a feeling of it, but that's your kind of, your center of gravity is kept in and around your hips when you do that. Okay, but when you're moving out into the sort of control position, it makes it a bit more awkward because, you know, you're, shit. Oh. You'll feel it, it burns the calves really good. So try it now. You can have your phone in your hand here, up on the far side, and then send your leg all the way back. And if you want, you can still keep your imaginary phone in this hand here. That's grand. And then make sure you have control as you come back up. Don't try and just like rebalance yourself and spring your foot back up. Nice and slow is the rule of the aim of the game here. Shit. So that little hop that I did there, that's not the end of the world if you're able to really take your balance, but ideally you don't want to do that. Two. Three. Touching it. Sorry, got distracted there with the dog coming in. And you know what? I'm actually going to take this off. That sun coming in is making a big difference. I'm making excuses, but let's start again. Let's do. We already did two, so let's consider that we've had a break, and instead of doing 3 more, we'll do 4 more. Jesus, that is really bad today. What is going on? Let me see if it's just my foot in these shoes. You know, just that small amount of extra wobble. Yeah, I think that has made a difference. That is very odd. I'm really struggling here just to get the 5. And I didn't work out last night. I didn't train last night. Oh, fuck. Okay. Whew. Hopefully that's just the warm-up itself. You know, maybe I did too much too quick, but that is it's not feeling strong. And sure. No point in taking these off and putting them back on again, and taking them off and putting them back on again, and just leave them off. It's a warm enough day. It's nice, nice and sunny. I'd forgotten about this, how sunny it gets at this particular kind of time of day. The sun sets right in my face. Might have to start using sunglasses. Okay, so that was the legs. Overhead press we'll do now. So this is 50 kilos. You know, there's dumbbells there. Let's do dumbbells just because 50 kilos, it's not crazy heavy. It's certainly manageable. But let's, I wanted to make it a little bit heavier, but I don't want to waste time kind of stripping the bar off and then putting the weight back on. So we'll just go 15s on the single dumbbells. Nine, 10. Okay, deadlifts. So we can increase the weight of deadlift now. First of all, we will correct this mat. I don't know how it happens, but the mat's always kind of shimmy out to the side. Obviously, it must be from this moving a bit, but this doesn't seem to move, you know? Because this is always in line with these mats here, so I don't know. I don't know, man. I just work here. So we'll take this up to 80. Just because the weight is handy, it's already here. And I'm just gonna add some of this mosquito stuff to the arms, because I know everyone hates getting bitten by mosquitoes, but I'm definitely, whatever blood type I have, they love it. And I'm a really bad person for, like, once I have an itch, I can't get my mind off scratching the damn thing, so properly affects my sleep, like. Good thing that spray stuff though has it's more sticky than greasy, so that's not gonna mess up my grip on this bar. One more. 10. So move these out the way now. did that in the wrong order. I should have. Or did I? No, I should do them with the balancing stuff. So, deadlift done. Cable pull next. And I'm not sure how comfortable this thing is with the without having these shoes on. I don't think it'd be too bad. This is a pretty. This pulley system is pretty comfy. Come here, buddy. Alright, so we'll go up to 15 this time. Well, sorry, we'll go up to 12. Give the body that warm up properly. Seven, 8, 9, 1 more. Hang on, my dog's barking at something. What's that about? Okay. Bunny standing at ground. All right. So now we're going to do all that balancing stuff. So we will. Seeing as how it's really, well, not really, but it was, yeah, it was actually. It was really tricky getting that last one on this leg. We'll start with that leg. Right foot to the ground, and then we'll do the leg extensions after. Actually, this should be here. I think now. All right. Right knee on the ground, or right foot on the ground. One. Three. 2 more to go. 2 more for the brain, 2 more. One more. All right, switch sides. Two. 3. 4. One more. 'Alright. So now we're not doing this before the overhead squat. Although, if you're doing an overhead press, if you're doing an overhead press, it actually is. Excuse me, I'll close my eyes. The sun is right there. It actually does make sense. I don't know if you'll see this, but when you're pushing the weight over your head, it makes squeeze your bum cheeks together, and then what it does is, if you can imagine, it creates a stable platform where you're not wiggling around like this, and you don't have to kind of like this is an exaggeration, but you're not flopping all over the place like this in your upper body. So it means that if everything is nice and tight down here, it means that you can put more weight and make the movement above your head more stable. And a good analogy of that, say the same thing for bench press, is if you're firing a big cannon, it makes a lot more sense, even if you don't understand physics very well, to shoot the cannon out of a big boat rather than a little rowboat. You've got cannonball thing, you shoot it in a rowboat, it's going to topple the rowboat. So you need a big ship, and that's what your back represents here. Your back or your bum. So when you're doing your overhead press, your back is tight down here to give you that platform to raise back up really well. And the same thing, if you have a strong back when you're doing a bench press, you tense that up, and then let your pecs do as much work as they can. So this is, oh, that's a lot harder. 1. And I'm not able to do that. That is too strong for me. This little resistance band here is good enough for my ability. So, because I want to get right the way up there. X. 8. All right, change over to the side. Go. We'll just get this out of the way because I'm not going to be using it, so no point in just having it sitting there. So next is overhead press. So the main reason why I'm doing that hip exercise to turn my bum on, it will actually help with doing the overhead press, but it's mostly for when I'm doing the deadlifts, which will come after the overhead press. Okay, Sorry, just checking on something. All right, overhead press. This is 50 kilos, and we're warming up for 6 repetitions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Squeeze the bum together. 6. All right, let's get this back on the ground. Deadlift time. And we will take this up to that's 60, so that'll be 110 kilos. Today's going to be an interesting one because I'm going to do I'm going to really test myself for bench press. See how strong I actually am. I've been holding off a lot because I've been worried about putting too much pressure on the knee. But after my MRI, my knee MRI, there's damage to it, but it's kind of specific to running. So my doctor said you want to keep as much blood flow going down there as much as possible to help with the healing. So when I said to him, all right, well, is it all right to lift heavy deadlifts? And he was like, yeah, absolutely, that's great. And I was just like, oh, well, doctor says, doctor's orders. Okay, we'll just see how this feels. Might not be able to do it just with my grip strength, never mind. How strong my legs are. Oh. 6. Let me calculate that again. Yeah. That's 110. Yeah, okay, yeah. I thought I was like, fucking hell, this is 130, and I'm pulling this with this ease. It's like a 10 kilo increase in my weight from the last time. I've not even finished the warm up. It's like, okay. Chemotherapy ain't that bad. All right. Now it's let's raise this back up. 10 on each side. This is not really so much a resistance training exercise, it's more about just one, mobility, making sure that the legs kind of like, you know, helps the flexibility of the legs a little bit. Not a huge amount, but you know yourself, a small amount of something is better than nothing at all. That's just to activate the glutes so that when I'm lifting some real heavy weight, they're in there working hard. Alright, same thing, opposite side. Nine. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna go down to the ground and open my back up a bit. I wish there was a microphone just at the back of my spine there. You can hear all the slow, all the gas being released from my spine. A lot of people hate all that. They think like, oh, you're cracking your back or whatever. That's not what it is. You're opening up a gap in your joints, which causes a natural release of carbon dioxide that just kind of builds up, just being a human. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. All of my physios have, like, you know, pop my back, pop my, you know, neck and my legs, knees, all of it. It's perfectly normal. If you're feeling stiff and then you do something and you feel the cracks and then you're more loose, that's simply because if you can imagine two sort of platforms like that. I'll do this to the camera. So if you can imagine, there's a tiny little gap like that in the pocket between these two joints. This is a bone. Imagine this is your spine, so this is a vertebrae and this is one on top. And like this, there's a little bit of an air bubble in the middle, so it makes it difficult, you know, just to move around. But then you let the air bubble come out, and now there's more room. And that simply has the that's simply how the mobility increases, and the gas will pop back in. The carbon dioxide will come back in, it's natural, does that, and then you just pop it again when it's sort of the build-up happens. It is not unhealthy. Okay, so cable pull. So now we're gonna add weight to the cable machine. And you guys aren't at a good angle, and it's not worth it for me to move the cameras around just to show you this. It's not that interesting, but basically I'm using this as a pin. It's just a screwdriver, and then I'm gonna hang the weight on it. All right. So because this is the heavy 6 repetitions day, I did my best to make this cable machine heavier. It just doesn't have that much weight on it, so I add weight to it, and then this is still a warm-up stage though, but we're closer to the end, to the finished product. I'll just do this with one hand. Hey, going up to 10 here. It's a good lift. That feels good. Now that particular weight machine, normally I actually love the cable pull because it'd be my strongest lift and it's easy to do. Deadlift, the deadlift to be is my strongest lift, but it requires quite a lot of concentration to make sure that your back is in line and safety, and I'm never really happy with my form. I always think it's not that great, but with the cable pull, you can heave a really big amount of weight around and it's safe on the back. So it just feels nicer that I don't have to kind of think about it. I can just sort of enjoy moving it around more. But this one, unfortunately, we kind of have to tweak it to make it properly heavy. So, cable pull complete. Now we're going to do the slow motion sprint. And you guys on your phones, you can actually do this with me. I promise you, it will not make you sweat. It is not a sweaty exercise. It's not a lot of hard work. You will not be out of breath. You do not have to worry about this. And also, I don't think you'll even look that weird if you're in the office. So what you do, right knee, for the sake of it, you can do the left knee if you want. Opposite hand, so in this case it's my left hand. And we're up nice and tall here. And then we're just imagining that we're doing a sprint, very slow. Think about how you move if you were to run as fast as possible. And that is one. Then we go really slowly with the idea that at any point you could stop and then start again and then stop. Think of it kind of like the Squid Game at the very start where they have that big doll with the red eyes that turns around and then the people with the sniper rifles go to town. Three. Four. One more. Woo. Shake out all the lactic acid that builds up there. It is surprisingly difficult. You know, you do one, it's fine, and then you do two, and then you get to like 3 and 4, and it's like, oh my god, my fucking calf is on fire. But very good for your balance. If you're worried about getting injuries in a marathon, particularly if you're training for the London Marathon, which is, 2 weeks, this is a good exercise to do. Because it's about kind of having your leg land the right way every step. And then getting the big muscles that are needed for your running pattern to be in the right area, to be lined up the right way. And that's the support muscles do. They get those muscles in line in the right way. Think of it as like, one of the stage hands at a play. They're not the director, but they're there to make sure at the side where they can see like, oh, that person's not in the right light. Move to the side a bit there. Okay, now you're good. And as much as you can, try not to touch the ground with your foot or like correct your balance by tapping a wall if you have to, absolutely have to, if you lose your balance, you know, don't beat yourself up too much, but do your best to keep your foot glued to the ground. I've just gone against my own word there. That's not what we're aiming for. One more. Oh, Jesus. Okay, Christ. Woo. Oh. It's very hard. Okay, overhead press is next, so let's increase the weight a bit. Let's get this out the way. Not out the way, but let's just get that out of the path. So increase this to 55 kilograms. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 55 kilograms. And a big thing, especially when you're lifting heavy, a heavy overhead press, be very strict with yourself. Make sure your bum is squeezed up. Squeeze your bum cheeks together. Makes a stable platform for you to lift with better posture, which is extremely important. You don't want to hurt your back, strain your back. 1. 5. One more. 6. And we'll leave that. No, we won't leave that on. We'll strip it all off. We'll get ready for the big boy. We're going to be overhead pressing 60 kilos next. Hopefully, we'll be going above that, and we'll go 62 at the end of the day, at the end of the workout. All right. All right, let's see. What are we at for with reps? 140. I imagine that will not be the ending lift. I'm fairly confident we'll be going significantly higher than that. But let me think. 50, 30, this is 60, 110, no, that's 160, that's a bit too high. take it up to 130. Oh, no, it's not. It's not. There, calculate that now. It'll be 100. Oh, wait, no, I did calculate it wrong. It'll be 140. Let's get it to 130. Alright, here's a little old school trick about how you put weights on the barbell. You get a smaller one, roll it up to the side, roll it up, and then slides on, easy peasy. And then you roll it off and get rid of the weight. Life hack. Now this is 130, so. We're aiming for 6 repetitions. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, you are not welcome here, young man. Spider around there somewhere, so let's just get rid of that before I'm lifting a deadlift and a spider starts crawling up my arm. Don't think anyone wants that. I'm sure you guys want that. I'm sure you guys want to see me freak out. Before we start, let's get that over to the right side. So that's nice and even Steven between the two of them. And we're going to aim for 6 repetitions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 130 kilos. I'm aiming to go higher than this, way higher than this. Because my doctor said I could. So you best believe I will be doing that. I'm the kind of guy where I'm like Batman, where I'm not asking my doctor, you know, am I able to, you know, what am I able to do? Am I ever going to walk again? It's kind of like, you know, hey, am I allowed to, you know, cave dive? Like, do I have their permission? Come on, get in line. Alright, there we go. Alright, 6 repetitions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Easy. Okay, let's rack the bar up. Strip her off. Excuse me. Alright, now we're doing the sideways kind of elastic. I don't know what you'd call it. It's kind of like the Bruce Lee kick, the famous Bruce Lee kick. A little bit like that. Bruce Lee famously had that thing where he like jump up and then strike out. It's like that, but for someone who has terrible flexibility and is completely unable to do a Bruce Lee super famous kick. Nine, 10. All right, other leg. Okay, same again, first side. X. 11. Right. 9. 10. And we will be doing the overhead press, so let's kick that there for the time being. Okay, so now that we're into the working set, the difference between what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to be using one arm to pull all the way up. Now when I'm doing that, you'll probably see me turning my body a bit. That's fine. I'm not going to get too upset over doing that. It means that the muscle security isn't perfect. A lot of my other, my back is being used in a different way. But it's important to be able to lift in natural ways where you're covering what's called 3 planes of motion. I can't remember them all. It's like transitional, lateral, and vertical, I think. Been a while since I passed my sport fitness class instructor qualification or whatever. But it basically means if you're in this plane of motion where you're moving forward and back, up and down, or side to side. So it's good to have exercises that, cross over the different planes of motion. Because if you think about an overhead press, that's just one. It's up, it's down, it's vertical. If you were to have something where you like step forward and then do that, that's good. But ideally, if you want functional training, you want to be doing stuff where you're like moving in and twisting around and doing all that sort of stuff. And they say functional training is not necessarily the best, but something that you really should have, particularly if you're playing sports, because, you're in a scrum, you're in rugby, just go like that, that's just for the scrum, but that doesn't mean you won't have to like grab someone and try and pull them off another player. And that is, you're not just going this way, then turning and like that. It's one motion to try and get them off. So it's not the end of the world if I'm turning my back. Let's get a good grip first. Push it all the way back up. And 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't do that. Not with that heavy weight. Gonna have to lower it the next time. Which is good! I've found a way to make this cable machine heavy enough. This is a good thing. This is definitely a good thing, I assure you. Two. Oh. One more. 5. Excuse me. I'm really happy with that. I know it sounds like one of those weirdos who's trying to save face and they're like, I'm glad I lost. I'm really glad I lost. And it's like, how you pipe down and just say, yeah, shit, I'll work on it next time. But I am actually really happy with that because now I have progress to work on, which this cable machine, there's just not enough weight on it, so it's kind of hard to get there. And I've kind of cracked the code. If I do it one-handed, and if I add 20 kilos, you know, it's hard enough that, like, I have to do that. So that's good news. That's going to be good to be able to write something down to keep my progress notes, because I haven't really been able to do that with this cable machine. Because I don't want to do loads and loads of reps. That is a way to make it harder. But the problem with that is if I keep doing loads and loads of reps, it will get into something called hypertrophy, which is that's what you want as a bodybuilder. I don't want to be a bodybuilder. Like, you know, this is cool, this is nice, it looks nice, but I don't want a huge amount of it, because if I do that, that just means I'll weigh more, and then when I'm going to do like the running the marathons, or you know, doing big long walks, I want to start doing a lot more hiking where I'm wearing a big heavy weight, and if my body itself is really heavy, that's going to make things hard. So I like to keep things really strong. I love strength. I really like strength, but I don't want to be huge. I don't want to be a giant guy. I want to just be like, you know, have that sort of, you know yourself. You know the physique of someone when you look at someone, you're like, you know, that man, yeah, he's a farmer or something. You know, when they just have like farmer's hands. That was always the kind of thing that I'd like, where it's like, you know, oh yeah, look at that guy. He's probably a fireman or something. That kind of that sort of look. Ah yeah, this young lad, he's probably in like, you know, probably in the army or something. So let's I need to get my I need to take my time with this next lift. So having a little bit of a, you know, a couple of moments to get my breath back is absolutely fine. Let's try and readjust this. A little bit worried that might slip off. Okay. So that lift is going to be big. It's going to be hard. So we'll wait. Not wait, but we'll any time, extra time to catch my breath is good when I'm kind of like fiddling around with other stuff. That's productive, but at the same time, you know, I don't want to be just flicking through your phone. But something that I used to do quite a lot. I'll bring it back when I write a new program. But as for my rest periods, I would do certain stretches. So like opening up the hip, which is more yoga stuff. But I just sit there. It would not benefit my actual workout itself, but it would just be working on my mobility as an excuse to get my breath back. So, you know, I'm still resting, but I'm also, you know, doing something, so I'm not just wasting my time in the gym. Because I myself, I quite like, you know, a big 2-hour-long gym session where you're not ever panting, you know, you're just taking your time, you're chilling out, you know, your friend you're texting back, you're not killing time, but you're, you know, it's just a relaxed atmosphere. You're not putting yourself under too much pressure. And then, you know, when it's time to lift the weights, you're good and ready for it. You're not in a rush. 1, We're going up to 5. Two. 3. 4. 'Fuck! I lost it at the end. Alright. One. Fuck. 2. 3. 4. 5. Woo! Alright. Big fucking lift now. We're getting into big boy country. Alright, so we're aiming for 6 repetitions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, something that is very important whenever you're doing a heavy overhead press, just general, it's a good habit to get into. But if ever you're doing a particularly heavy one, you know, where you're going for like 10 repetitions, and you really need to make sure that you're not like leaning back like this. Squeeze your bum cheeks together, real tight, nice wide base. Get in there, grip the ground, and then up you drive. All right, here we go. Six reps. That felt good. Now, that was a good clean lift. I don't know if I'd be able to go up to 62 kilos. I'll try, but ahead of time, if I start feeling like, ooh, that's a bit wobbly or whatever, stop instantly. I am not going to like pull a muscle on my back, you know, twitch it out like this, or lean back like this and put too much pressure on my spine. That's a no-no. It is a niche. Right. Excuse me, more. All right, big heavy deadlift now. Okay, so let's bring the weight up to 140. Yeah. Alright, so geography. Geography time. Someone name a flag that has yellow, red, and blue. Yellow, red, and blue is the colour of my true north star that you're aiming for. And after I've racked this up, gotten this ready. Oh, come on, you fucker. There we go. I'll see who's got one. And if no one has one, I'll give you a clue and I'll name one of the continents. One of the continents has a fair few. That's a clue in itself, actually. Go through the continents and then go, oh, yeah. There's a bunch down here. Ah, fuck, I'm after giving one. I'm after giving it away again. Jesus Christ, I'd make a terrible spy. I'd make a terrible Ecuadorian spy. I'd make a terrible Colombian spy. Alright, let's see. What countries did anyone think of? Did anyone get any guesses now? TikTok is a bit annoying with the live stream these days because I can't actually, it just keeps saying that new people have followed the account and joined in the live stream, and that's nice and all, but it's like I can't see what people are saying. It sort of defeats the point of what's going on. I suppose TikTok's doing the same, or Instagram's doing the same thing. Anyway, yeah, no one has guessed a country that has a flag, yellow, blue, and red. South America is your clue. Okay, so this is 45 kilos. Just get a good song in. Okay, this is a good one. This is going to be a hard lift. This is not, I wouldn't say personal best, but it'll be an increase in the last time I did these weights. So, I want to make sure that I'm good and ready. Good and hype the fuck up. Easy, easy peasy. We can take that up a notch the next time. I'd like to add, it's never happened to me before, but if I pass out after doing a deadlift, don't worry, that's not me having anything to do with the brain cancer. That's, as I say, as a medical profession. As a professional oncologist, that's what I say. Well, it's just blood being sort of blood shunting. And I often get lightheaded after a big heavy deadlift, but I've never passed out. I don't plan to, but if ever it happens, don't worry, I'll be fine. Just put that there for the moment. I'm just taking that off really carefully so that the thing doesn't flip up. What's next? Deadlifts. What's today's date? The 15th? Right, cable. Peachy cable. The peachy cable moves. Same again, far side. Cable machine. So this will be interesting now. So the cable machine, we've dropped the weight down. It was 20 kilos and now it's 15 kilos, but I wasn't able to do a full 6 repetitions, which is what the kind of the program is for today. So all right. So, I'm afraid, Instagram, I'm going to need this phone to do some actual flag is Romania. Yep, congratulations. I know that's a little bit delayed on me saying, like, you know, guess a flag that has red, blue, and yellow in it. Here's your fun fact for the day before I end things with Instagram, just simply because that's the highest quality phone that I'm using now, and I need to have that to record some stuff. But there are only 2 identical flags on in the world. Now, you know, you've got the Ireland flag, and then you've got, you know, the Côte d'Ivoire, and then you've got is India that way? I think India is that way, you know? So they're not identical flags, they are different. There's only 2 identical flags in the whole world, and it's Romania and one other country. I'll give you guys can figure that one out for yourselves. Guess for yourselves. Beth. I'm representing you there. Beth, Scarlett, I see you. I see your username. I see your icon. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you might just give me a moment while I grab a camera stand. me out of here. And here's the, here's the setup. There's that camera, and there's this sign, which is normally in reverse because the way live stream cameras are seen is they're mirrored. So we'll just get that out of the way for the time being. So you can see the girth. You can see the girth of my muscles. Ooh, I'm not an egomaniac at all. Alright, so this is kind of a personal best. It's my way of trying to make this cable machine as heavy as humanly possible, because there just aren't that much weight in the stack. I need to buy some more weights for the stack. So this is what I'm going to do in the meantime though. And I'm very, very happy because I hadn't come up with this before. And now I thought, oh yeah, maybe there's a way to like add this. Maybe if I add like a screwdriver and pin in a screwdriver, then I'll have an extra kind of a pin. And so I'm able to add some proper weight and really test the muscular strength to get the reps low and the weight high. So we're aiming for 6 repetitions with this one. 1, 2, 3. One more. 6. All right. Same on the first side. 1. 1 more. That is really weird that my left hand actually feels stronger there. That is strange, very strange. Especially after like I've already done the first set on the right hand side. I wonder if that's from Shane down in Clontarf therapy, athletic therapy, when he was doing the the Chinese pins acupuncture, when he was doing the acupuncture on me, because I had a really bad spasming back, and I wonder if that's like a leftover sort of slightly less activation on the muscles, which is good. So off I'm not as strong. My arm isn't cramping up and I'm not getting nerve pain coming down my right hand side. That was really annoying. We'll bring this little doodly doo, this little sneakerino. Okay. Balance. So this is my balancing exercises. Am I doing them right? Yeah. So they're actually quite hard today. I don't know why. A lot of imbalance on this this leg. So we'll start with this leg today. And I'm noticing that when I extend myself out And then the difference between going like this is fairly easy. So I'm going to reset that. But then it really gets difficult if I pull in here first and then rise up. Two. The wind is fucking with me here. Three. Ah, fuck. Oh, fuck. I touched the wall there. 4. Ah, shit! Oh, that didn't end well, did it? Oh. Alright, other leg. Fuck you, wind. Three. Four. And I've definitely forgotten that. I'm not making it difficult enough for myself. I'm rising up from this position like this, which is easy. I should be condensing myself before I go up. 5. We're doing reps 6 today. So I'm just going to check something quickly. Excuse me. Because I think that I actually lifted reps. Oh wait, no, that was pull-ups that I was doing. Okay, never mind. Continue as you are. Continue as you are, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Wait a minute. I think I did that in the wrong order. I think cable machine, I'm meant to go straight to No. No, cable machine, then overhead press. Fairly sure. Okay, yeah, cable machine, slow motion sprint, then overhead press. Okay. Alright, this will be... let me just get this set up first. So this is going to be a personal best, if I get it. So everybody cross your fingers. I'm going to get some good screaming music onto. Some good psycho music. Now, obviously, I'm going to prioritize health and safety first, but alright, so I need some big fucking music, so I got the Blade club scene music, which was made by New Order, same people who did Blue Monday. It's kind of weird that like such a known band isn't known for having such a fucking amazing song. Everybody thinks it's just like, oh yeah, from the Blade film. It's like, yeah, the artist's fairly big as well. Alright, this is a personal best. If I get it. Gotcha, motherfucker! Woo! Yeah, that's right. That's how loud that shit was. I'm able to bring the elastic band down. Leg weight! Alright. Deadlift time. Big, hefty deadlift is next. Big deadlift. Alright, quite happy with that lift. Required a lot of effort, but I don't think I like cheated myself. I don't think I popped my legs or, you know, did a bounce down onto the chest. I think that was a good, clean, disciplined lift. I think I was true to myself. Actually, that's a good way of thinking about it. When you're lifting weights, be true to yourself. Alright, some raindrops. Raindrops keep falling on Ahmed. So Lucy, just when you're letting the dog out and I'm working out, just have a peek out the window and just let me know. Just because doesn't happen very often, but today I'm doing heavy deadlifts, and that could like kill the dog. Huh? Sometimes I do. When she eats her own shit, I often want to try and squish her with a load of weights, but I'd probably be upset an hour later or so. So, you know, best practice not to squish her with a big, huge weight.
Kinky, lead it.
Can't actually see what I'm doing next. Oh, straight in. Straight in deadlifting. Straight in, no kissing. Alright, so what did we do the last time? Well, I think we can get up to 150 this time. 150 kilos for 6 repetitions. Okay. Actually, yeah, that'll look nicer. That'll look more pleasant. So let's go with the pleasant look. Now I'm going to be putting on the weights in, you know, a sort of a symmetrical order, which makes absolutely no difference. What? Or does it? I suppose if they moved around, which could possibly happen, seeing as how I don't bother putting the locks on my weight, because yeah, like some lifts, I suppose it depends on your bar. My bar grips the weight fairly well, so I don't feel like I need to have to put a knot on at the far end, one of the catches on the far end, because it's just an added step. But some Olympic bars, you'll find that they are quite slippy, and so if you're doing a squat, whatever, you have to lock up. I'd always lock up for a squat. A squat would be different. I know from my own squatting technique that I tend to lean a little bit, and so there has to be locked on. But a deadlift, I don't really teeter at my arms, so it's safe to do without the locks. Now, but what I was saying was the colours being in the exact same sort of order would make a difference to the weight. But if one was to ease off a little bit, a heavier weight would have more of a significance, because it's like, you know, further apart out on a lever. I think it was Pythagoras who was saying that if you had a lever that was long enough, a man could stand at the end of it and lift the earth. Don't quote me on that. That might not be Pythagoras. I'm not, you know, my Greek mathematic education isn't as robust as it used to be. Okay, so this will be 150 kilograms for 6 repetitions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I doubt very much this will be an all-time personal best, but this will be a recent personal best. I think this will be like the strongest that I've been in. Hard to guess, really. Recently, anyway. Last 2 years, definitely last 2 years. Don't know about 3 years. I think I might have been doing some deadlifts for a bit of weight, but anyway, we'll get on with it. 6 repetitions is the aim we're looking for here. Come on. Fuck's sake. This is one of the big reasons why, one, I love having a gym in my own gaff. Thank you so much, Fit Shop UK, for sorting me out with all this high quality gear. But also, to be able to just take all the time you need to do the lift properly, you're not in a rush. Alright, here we go. Alright, 6 reps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Remember when I said I did 6? I lied. Just letting the tumor know that I can do 2 more. There's your 2 more. It's a good big lift there. Papa Bear will be having steak tonight. Okay, that was a really great high note to end on. I'll take my time with, kind of tidying up the garden a bit. That's a bit. I mean, it's always a bit of a gym kip, but it's particularly bad after a deadlift. Anytime when it's like deadlifts are being done, especially when it's deadlift and overhead press, because the difference in the weight between those 2 things are quite a lot. So I end up slapping the weights all over the room, which is it's no muy bueno. So yeah, let's give the garden a little spruce, which give me some time to take my breath, get my breath back. Excuse me. Which is a good little cheat. A good little cheat for anybody who's like a regular to the gym, and you kind of sit around for your rest. Which rest is important. It's good. I'm not poo-pooing that. But something that I always find better, which is saves you time, is to just do something during your rest period. If you need to sort stuff out with the actual gym, tidy some of the weights up. If you're in a public gym, something like that, maybe you're not going to be using the 10 kilos anymore, just use your time to do that. You know what? I think tonight is a bit of a milestone for strength in general. So normally I would leave a 20 kilo bar on this barbell here, so that when I do the deadlifts I can do my warm up nice and quick. But I think it's time to upgrade, where my warm up is now safely 70 kilos. Hang on a sec, what's... Oh, it's just the light. And don't know what we do for this one. Name a country that has a red and green flag. Name a country that has red and green only in their flag. Alright? I know plenty of flags that have red and green in them, but you're not allowed to use like white or blue. Not that many countries that are red, green, and blue. You can name the country that has name the countries that have red, green, and blue in their flag. Geography teacher coming. Let's see, did anyone get any guesses? Any correct guesses? Can't see any guesses, unfortunately. Note to self how to find out what's wrong with both Instagram and TikTok's chat, where new followers are coming in and like that's being shown rather than people chatting. How to change that so it's only chat that's being seen from my perspective. Okay, I think at this point, I'm kind of faffing. Not faffing, I'm definitely not faffing, but I'm ignoring you guys and what you're probably waiting for. And that's the final set of cable pull. This will be the last part of the workout that I'll do. So that's alright. Alright, let's try and start on the left hand side and see, like, does that make a difference? Because the last time that I did that, the my right side was significantly less weak, but it came second, which is odd. 1, 2. Six. Change over. Alright, let's see, is my right arm still weaker? One more. Yeah, noticeably weaker. I don't know what the hell is going on there. Actually, no, I know exactly what's going on there. Okay. Alright, thank you all for participating in that. It means a lot to me when you guys keep me motivated, keep me in check, and I'll see you all again tomorrow.